Hello and welcome to Nkarma's Online Festival number 5. So this is the 4th day of the festival. If you missed out, then don't worry, you can still catch up on the Instagram page. This is WorldWords tonight, and then we've still got 2 more evenings to go. There's going to be lots of DJing and lots of loveliness, so be sure to check those out. So welcome to WorldWords. This is our last online festival. It's the 5th and final, because we have lots and lots and lots of amazing things coming up to look forward to, so we can let you know about all of that in the future. So tonight, because it's our last one, I'm going to try just to really enjoy it. There's been times where I've come here and I've been nervous or I've been excited, and then it just goes so fast. So tonight my little goal is just to really enjoy myself and just soak in all of the loveliness. We have so many good guests tonight. I'm so excited. It's going to be really, really, really special. We've got poetry, art, podcasters, dancers, music. We have literally everything. So it's going to be a really, really special night. So get comfortable, get into your PJs, get a drink, and we're going to have a really nice night together. I always like to start these evenings with a little poem or a little quote, just to set the tone. So today I'm going to read, it's a poem by Matt Haig. It's from his book called The Comfort Book, and it's called Warm. Don't worry about being cool. Never worry about what cool people think. Life is warmth. You'll be cool when you're dead. Head for the warm people. Head for life. I really like that poem, and I think that's a good tone for the evening. We're all very warm here. Okay, so we're gonna move straight on to our first guest. I'm so excited because we've never had anything like this on the show before. So our first guest is Alexandra. I call her Ali. Hi, Ali.
Hiya.
Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
So what are you going to be doing for us?
So to start off, I thought I'm just going to lead some nice stretching and a nice little bit of light movement because I think we all need it. And coming towards the end of the day, I think it's the best way to come down.
Amazing. I'm going to hand it straight over to you if that's okay.
Perfect. So to start, we're just going to sit in a comfy position, wherever that may be for you. So it might be cross-legged, might be legs out in front, just whatever feels comfy. You're going to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. You can do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open, whatever feels nice. And you're just going to start by just seeing how you feel today, just listening to your body and listening to what it's telling you. So for me, I know I've got a lot of tension in my upper body, in my shoulders, and I'm holding a lot of tension there. So if you feel anything like that, try and just wiggle around and loosen up anything that may feel really tight. And in your own time, you're going to do really deep breath in and one deep breath out. And we're just going to carry on doing that in your own time. Really take this time to really feel your body and let your body do its own thing. And really try to tune into the present moment. I know there can be distractions around you, but really take this time to just tune in and be. We're going to do it 2 more times. I'm going to breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And next, just going to do some simple shoulder rolls. Get rid of any tension you may be holding in your shoulders. So really bring them up and really try and just loosen them around. You can do this as slowly or as quickly as you'd like, but slowly does. And while you're there, try and hold it right up and then just let go and feel your shoulders just drop down. So try that in your own time. Just bring your shoulders right up to your ears and dropping them down. You can do some breaths with this as well, breathing in and out, or you can just carry on releasing your shoulders. A few more times. Just bring them up and down. And then you can go back to rolling them around if it feels like it. If you feel like any shoulders are really tense, you can do it one at a time. Really get working into it, or you can do it both. Whatever feels good for you right now. We're next going to take one hand and put it on the opposite side of our head and just bring it round. And mine will probably click, so I do apologise, but just slowly pull and you'll feel a lovely stretch all across the side of your neck here. These exercises I tend to do at the end of the day when I'm about to go to bed, as it really helps me wind down. And it's something I'd really, really recommend because it's so easy to do. You can sit on your bed, sit on the floor, whatever. It doesn't take long at all. And to the other side. Again, you can do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open, whatever feels good for you. And then we're just going to bring our bodies back to the middle. Thing we'll do is however you're sitting, just try and bring your body to the side and drop it in front of you as low as you can go. If you're sitting on a chair, just try and reach the floor and just really let the head go. Don't hold any tension in your neck. This is such a wonderful stretch, and you can feel it all in your shoulders and down your back. If you want to push yourself, try crawling your fingers forward, and you can get a deeper stretch. And slowly just bring your hands up, back to your seated position. Bring your head up to the last one. We're now just going to do some side stretches. So you're going to bring your arm up, side, and just do a nice big rainbow arm, as I like to call it, and feel that stretch all along the side of your body. This is really good if you've been sitting at a desk all day. So you can either bring it in front of you and swap your arms around by circling it, or you can simply come back to the middle and just swap your arms over, whatever feels nicest for you. And once again, we'll just bring our bodies back to the centre. And slowly bring your heads up. The neck's going to stand up, if that's easy for you today. And what you're going to do is you're just going to scoop your body from right down, scoop to your knees, and then you're going to bend your back and get a lovely stretch. So you should get a slight C in your back, like this. And then we're going to reverse it and come back up. And do that a few more times in your own time. So scooping your belly and your back to the side and reversing it. This is working all the bones in your spine and getting it moving about. So one more time, scooping. And reversing. Next one we're going to do is we're simply going to drop our knees in a bend, and then we're going to come down and try and get as flat as you can go. So see if you can touch the floor. If not, it's absolutely fine to see how far you go. So we're just going to bend and go down. Some people that may be here, and that's absolutely fine. You can feel that stretch along your hamstrings. For other people, it may be completely flat down. And bend your knees and come back up. And do that a few more times. So bend to the ground. Straighten those legs as far as you can go. And bend those knees and bring your head up. And 2 more times. Scoot down. Get a lovely stretch at the back of your legs. And up. And one more time. And the last thing we're going to do is we're simply going to ragdoll. So we're going to hang over with our knees slightly bent at the back, and you're going to drop your arms like this and literally let all the weight of your body fall forward. And try and look through your legs. And this is a lovely one to release any pressure and tension your body may have. You can move your body slightly here if you want. You can give it a wiggle, see how it feels, or you can keep it completely straight and still. But just let everything fall down and let your head go. And in your own time, slowly come up and make sure your head is the last thing to come up, rolling through your spine. So there we go. Thank you so much. And I hope that relaxed you a little bit and helped you wind down for the evening. There are things that you do on your bed, you can do in your bedroom, and it's just the easiest way to wind down in the evening.
That was so lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
For me, like, I probably believe the same for you. Like, for me, that was almost like meditation. Because now
Yeah.
I feel so much more calm now. Like, my head is a lot clearer just from doing, like, I guess just getting like blood pumping. I don't know.
Yeah, getting your body moving, and especially sitting all day at a desk or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah,
helps you just like tune into your body. Like you can really just focus on like specific body parts.
yeah. And to know like where your mind is at as well. I suppose like today I've kind of been scooped up in my flat. And I didn't really take a minute to like check in and like know how I feel, you know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
That's really nice. Thank you so much. Um,
Thank you.
Everyone please give Ali some love in the comments. And where can we, if anyone wants to like get in contact with you or find out more from you, where can we do that?
So you can follow my Instagram, that's Alexandra Movement, and I post those things there. And I also work for a company called Flamingo Chicks, which is dance classes for inclusive dance classes for children with disabilities and illnesses. So I'd recommend giving them a follow as well. So that's Flamingo Chicks. If you feel like that, you can just Google them. They have a website and all of that. And Alexandra Movement on Instagram for me.
Awesome, that's so lovely. Thank you so much. We'll also put all socials at the end as well. Thank you so much, Ali.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. That was so lovely. I hope at home you all got to have some space to do that. That was really nice. I feel so much like, calmer now. I do this every time. I come on, I'm like, I speak super fast and then I have a nice relax and now I'm like, we're good to go now. At home, please feel free to chat to me in the comments. If you want to shout out, we'd love a shout out. So we're going to move on to our next guest. So now we're going to go all the way to Canada. I have a lovely poet named Elliot. Hi, Elliot.
Hello.
Hello. It's so nice to speak with you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Amazing. I wanted to ask you like a few questions, but maybe if you'd like to perform first and then we can have a little chat afterwards.
Sure, that sounds
Awesome.
good. I brought a couple poems, so this is one of my first poems. I'm kind of putting them in order of as I've written them as I've gotten older. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome.
This poem is called Arrows. Your brown eyes pin me to the bed, piercing, passing through my flesh and the ribs that confine my heart. In your gaze, I am leveled like Hiroshima, crucified on the curves of your body. Lady of dreams, lioness of the jungle, matron of majesty, undress me with your eyes so your hands remain free. Beauty found in every crevice, a collarbone that taunts, lie naked with me in every stanza. What offerings can I bring to your temple? If you desire a king, dissect my past, form me, shape a future for this shapeless thing. Coronate the pauper before the warfare is launched from the tip of your tongue, and I run with a heart full of shrapnel. That's the end of that one.
That was really beautiful.
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it.
If you,
Did you want
you can just roll. Yeah,
Okay.
the show is yours.
Okay, cool. So this next poem is called Yesterday's Man. Yesterday's man died on the porch. I'm wearing his shirt. I'm drinking his coffee. I'm stretching his grin. Yesterday's man died on the porch. I just happen to look like him. So, I mean, I could talk. Do you want me to tell you about these poems or you want to talk about them after? Yeah? Okay. So I just basically see this poem as about people changing, and sometimes they don't recognize themselves where they've gone to, or sometimes people don't recognize them anymore. But you know, you're wearing the same clothes, you're drinking the same coffee. So that's what that poem's about. I'll just keep going and we can chat at the end. I don't break up the flow. Sorry. Okay, this poem's called Everything. I've heard it said, everything comes to pass. Some things are built to break while others are built to last. You touched my skin so softly, like fog upon the grass. It was then that I knew everything comes to pass. Your eyes were bright as diamonds, your smile sharp as glass. I found your little letter, it said your love was on a fast. So I tied you to my poem and packed you in my past. The priest said on Sunday that everything comes to pass. This is like poetry bullets. I'm just shooting poems at people. Okay, this poem, this is a poem I wrote a couple days ago. I've never read it for anybody. So it's called Imagination. And it's kind of loosely based off of, I would say, like Instagram and social media photos. I'm terrified of her beauty, the type that sent men to war, a style that captures the painter's eye. She is housed in the four walls of a photo, and I am trapped outside. I imagine what it must be like to occupy her interest, to hear her whispers, to feel her heat, to taste her lips. My curiosity and temptation meet like old friends. I go to the page to record these fantasies I share with the world in hopes she reads them and sees herself. All right, and this is the last poem. Like I think I said this before we started. I was like, I found out I wrote a lot of poems about women while I was looking for poems. So um, this poem is called The Moon. Here at the borders of your body, beyond the barbed wired fence, I see the shining citadel of your figure, a river of black hair that flows over your breasts and back, draping you like the queen of all men, who dream of your favor, who weep and sing, who wish you with them and wish you happiness. I am one who sits with the moon, receiving a message. If you come to me, I'll read you what it says. And that is all the poems.
That was so lovely. Thank you so much. I like
Well,
how it's like every word you say is like so like important. I don't know what the word would be, but it's like every, you know what I mean, every word you say, it's because it's so clear and it's so, it draws me in, every word. I think that's what I'm trying to
uh,
say.
I appreciate that. I mean, it is. I feel like they are very important. I
Mm,
mean, it would take, I think, trying to find the right word, because I think all poems and art is always in development, and
mm.
so like what one word might have worked for you like a year ago, it changes, and so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's
But I
nice.
appreciate.
It's like we're in a constant state of growing, I guess, and so is our poetry and our words. I like that.
Yeah, totally.
I wanted to ask you, how long have you been writing poetry for?
I was writing since I was a kid, but I
Mm,
didn't start taking it seriously till I was like
mm.
23, and I'm 37 now. So, uh, was that 15
Yeah,
years or
yeah.
something?
Wow, that's really nice. That's nice as well because I think, especially with younger people, there's this pressure to like start everything now and do everything now. But like you say, you know, you can start at 23, you can start at 7. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it just the moment comes when it comes.
Yeah,
Like, doesn't
yeah.
worry about your age.
Mm,
But yeah, no, it's been an interesting ride so
yeah.
far.
Um, I wanted to ask you as well. So, like, I love to ask poets, why do you write? You know, like for
Hmm.
me, I often have to get things off my chest and clear my
Yeah.
head a little bit, so I have to just like get it all out of my words. I wondered, like,
Yeah.
why do you write?
Um, I would say the same
Mm,
reason. It's like emotional release. Even to be honest, sometimes words just pop in my head unbidden, and they seem to lead somewhere. It's almost like finding the edge of like a thread,
mm.
and I just feel really compelled to follow it and see where it
Oh, I
goes.
love that.
I think emotion is really important.
Mm,
Like I think that's the most important thing, more than form or structure or rhyming. It's like if you can put your emotion into something, I think that's what translates
mm.
rather than people thinking it's a certain rhyme scheme or whatever.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, I agree. I like to feel a connection just as a human, you know, with all of the technical things aside, just as a human, like connecting with someone and what they're going through. I like that.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying about emotion, like I'm a believer that everybody has the same emotions. We just sometimes we experience them at different times.
Mm,
So like somebody might fall in love at 20 and somebody might fall in love at 65, but it's still love. And so a poem or a piece of music that speaks to that emotion or that emotion comes through. Uh, it's almost timeless. It doesn't really matter. You can read something like Shakespeare still moves us, right?
Yeah.
Or all writers, because it's all human emotion, and we're the same from then till now. So
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
yeah.
Did you say that you wanted to play something as well?
I was gonna play a song. I just didn't know if like the sound would come through the laptop, and I didn't want to butcher it. I really need the guitar. I'm not a great singer, so.
Oh, well, if you want to go for it, feel free, but you don't have
Oh,
to.
oh, okay. I'll try.
Yeah?
If it hopefully good. Okay. I don't know if it will, but we'll
We'll
see.
try it.
Okay, we'll try it out. Um. So yeah, this is a song. I don't know. Is that better? This is a song I wrote about an ex-girlfriend of mine. It's called Love's Last Resting Place, and it's kind of just about the idea that, you know, you can love somebody. Like, love stories aren't always long. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long. So it's called Love's Last Resting Place. Can you hear that? Yeah, okay. This is the end of me and you. My heart was red, you bruised it to blue. So I fled out where the winds. I was caught, fixed and locked in chains of love. Like hand in glove. Now we've torn a hole. The seam's been blown. So I was gone. Across the line. I was there for you. But never on time. Now our tears are rolling. Our words unspoken. Goodbye's final breath. In the graveyard, love will rest. Sticks and stones. By bricks and bones. And love's last resting place. Love's last resting place.
That was so lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks so much.
much. Ah,
I'm glad it came through.
yeah, it was beautiful. I feel even calmer now. That was so lovely. Thank you so much for being here, Elliot. It was really nice chatting to you as well. You have a really lovely
Thanks.
mind.
You take care.
Yeah, you too. All your socials are going to be at the end, so if anyone wants to follow you or message you to have a chat, then it will be at the end.
Yeah, please. I'd love to chat. Anybody that wants to chat, I like to chat. So.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Take care.
Bye. Thank
See you.
you. Oh, that was so lovely. Yeah, his socials will be at the end. So if anyone does want to send a message, even just to say how lovely that was, that would be really nice. So, we've just been to Canada. Now we're back in London. And now we're going to take a quick trip to Brazil. I love this. This is what it's all about. We're WorldWords. So our next guest is really, really special. He's all the way in Brazil, which means he's Brazilian. So we're going to have a little translation going on. We've got Tiago here with us. He is the co-founder of Encama. So he's going to be helping to translate. So I'm just going to hand it over to them, and then they're going to have a little conversation. And I hope you enjoy, and then I'll be back here afterwards.
Hello, hello. Hello. Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm back here. So yeah, my name is Tiago, and it's a big pleasure for me to be here today. And as Chelsea just said, Renan is in Brazil right now. And for those ones who doesn't know about it, but he's actually one of the reasons that why we are here today with the WorldWords night. He got a poetry event as well in Brazil called Parada Poética, which means poetry parade. It's just here on my cap, you know. And he came to London already twice, 2018 and 2019. And we did Parada Poética in Camden Town, in a Brazilian bar. And yeah, it's a very special guest, a very special event. And after that, we decide to keep Parada Poética here in London with the name WorldWords. And the reason of the name WorldWords, it's because when I started going on poetry nights and these kind of things, in the beginning here in London, I couldn't understand nothing in English. But I was there, I was feeling the energy, I was feeling people, and I could see like the reactions of the public. And for me, it was like amazing. And then I was like, okay, even though you don't understand the language, sometimes the energy, you can feel the reaction. And I think this is what is going to happen now, because I'm going to hand over to Renan, and he's going to be doing his thing in Portuguese. So if you don't understand Portuguese, it's not a problem. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's feel the vibes. And that's it. I think for now, we're going to speak in Portuguese, guys. So maybe you can try to learn some Portuguese like in 10 minutes. It's easy. And yeah, there we go. Renan, você tem que desmutar o seu microfone aí primeiro. Boa.
Hello, 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 peoples. I'm sorry, I don't speak English. Então vai ser tudo em brasiliano mesmo, certo? Pode mandar, Tiagão? Pode chegar chegante?
Pode chegar chegante.
Então vamos lá, assim, ó. Eu vou fazer uma música, eu vou fazer umas músicas, tá bom? Umas 3 músicas, tá bom?
Beleza.
E para quem pensa que o país da pizza é a Itália, para quem acha que a fome mata só na Somália, abraça que nada. Bem-vindo ao Brasil, fake news. O ódio criou um perfil, todo mundo seguiu e curtiu. Cada rebelião aqui é uma Chernobyl. E a eleição devia ser 1º de abril. E do Congresso ao inferno só muda a cor do terno. De Porto Alegre ao Acre, a pobreza só muda o sotaque. Miséria, não tem fuso horário nem idioma. É a mesma 1000 anos desde o Império de Roma. E o som de um estômago vazio roncando não muda. Do árabe pro castelhano. Não. A fome aqui é língua universal. Sem expressão, fala com a expressão facial. Talvez só vão dar atenção para tudo isso aqui quando a quebrada cair que nem o Haiti. Quando te rouba o horizonte, fake vira fonte. Quem é que vai fazer a ponte? Quando a fronteira for o fronte. Quando te rouba o horizonte, fake vira fonte. Quem é que vai fazer a ponte? Quando a fronteira for o fronte. Nazista matou judeu, ironia do destino. Hoje é o judeu que mata, quem morre é o palestino. Refugiados num bote boiano no Mediterrâneo, navio negreiro contemporâneo. Pensa comigo num bang a imigração. O efeito boomerang da colonização. Viver roleta russa na Síria, da Guatemala. Black Friday, Paraguaia, compra arma e leva as balas. Plou! Coca da Colômbia dentro de um nigeriano, voando para um nariz norte-americano. Negócio da China, do sheik saudita. Charuto cubano, conta na Suíça. O inglês a milhão no seu jipe japonês, loucão de uísque escocês, atropelou um português. E quem é mais animal na hora da ação? O policial ou o pastor alemão. Quando te rouba o horizonte, fake vira ponte. Quem é que vai fazer a ponte? Quando a fronteira for o fronte. Quando te rouba o horizonte, fake vira ponte. Quem é que vai fazer a ponte? Quando a fronteira for o fronte. É isso aí, miséria, inquérito.
Eu acho que sua câmera travou de novo.
A câmera não aguentou, mano. A movimentação, a câmera deu bug. Mano, se quiser falar, fala para eles que essa música chama Miséria e ela fala sobre várias expressões usadas aqui no Brasil, como, por exemplo, presente de grego, negócio da China, sei lá, mano, as coisas como... Ela fala assim, ela fala que apesar de tudo que rola no mundo, a fome é a única língua que é universal, que dispensa a tradução e fala com a expressão facial, tá ligado? Tipo, como se o som de um estômago roncando fosse o mesmo em inglês ou em castelhano, entendeu?
Right. So, just for translate a little bit what he just said to me right now, this song is called Misery, all right? And basically, of course, we are talking about the misery, but not just around the world. And what is an important thing he said is maybe one thing that the whole world can understand is like when someone is feeling hungry and their stomach is like, you know, like blah, 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 we can all understand. Doesn't matter the language, because you can see people suffering from hunger all around the world, and this is like universal language. So this music he just sang for us is basically speaking about the misery not just in Brazil, but with like businesses around the world, and how people just really don't care about what's going on, and people suffering by hunger in not just in Brazil, but yeah, as I said, around the world.
Ô, Thiago, e fala o seguinte, que eu falo nessa música uma frase que a imigração, ela é o efeito bumerangue, ela é o efeito reverso da colonização. A imigração, hoje, nada mais é do que a colonização reversa, entendeu?
Wow. So that's even hard to translate, but yeah, the immigration is the boomerang effect today of the colonization in the past. So yeah, now it's happening the immigration and everything, and then in the past it was the colonization. So we've been colonized in the past, and now people are like migrating again for the countries where, you know, it happened here in UK a lot as well. Anyway, do you want to, Renan, vai cantar mais alguma? Como é que é?
Oh, não, vamos mais, mano. Vamos mais. Você é louco.
Okay, he wants to sing, guys. He wants to sing.
Agora eu vou fazer uma. Essa chama bumerangue mesmo. Essa é assim. Quer ver? Peraí. Inquérito bumerangue. Mano, eu tenho mais de 100 letras, né, mano? Não dá pra lembrar todas, né? Às vezes eu tenho que recorrer aqui.
Guys, just to, you know, a little bit more about Renan. He's a teacher. He got, after master's, is doctor, I think, PhD. And he teaches like just kids, and he does the Parada Poética as well. He's a rapper and a singer, and he got 6 albums already out there, and more than 100 music out there as well. So he just said sometimes it's hard to remember all the tunes because it's too much. And after, I can of course send the social medias, but he's a very great artist in Brazil, with loads of collaborations, and you know, anyway, he will just sing another one for us now.
Tá, então vamos lá. Eu vou fazer uma aqui que vai misturar muito o rap com a música regional do Nordeste brasileiro, que é assim, ó. Lê. Travou minha câmera? Peraí. Ah, mano, essa câmera tá de brincadeira. Agora vai. De novo. Ei, vai. Tá travando, né? Tá travando, não tá?
Agora voltou.
Voltou? Caralho, mano. Então, fudeu, hein? Tá travando, né? Tá travado, né?
Tá.
Puta merda, hein, mano? Internet do Bolsonaro, caralho. Vai, vamos lá. Lê. 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 Hoje eu sei que pensar incomoda, comandar na chuva. Ainda mais se eu tiver de touca, calça larga e blusa. Detectou me acusa. Pipi. Revolução, me travam na giratória da discriminação. Porque pobre pensando é falta de educação. Fomos adestrados pra aceitar, pra raciocinar. Não. E os privilégios sempre pra minoria. Desigualdade hereditária como as capitanias. Aqui o homem de bem é o homem de bens que tem uma Mercedes-Benz e traz a maldade nos genes. Sem filho, vai deixar herança pros poodle. Tem de tudo, mas busca paz no Google. Condomínios de segurança máxima para ricos de alta periculosidade. Se dinheiro é poder, liberdade, por quê? Tanta cerca e tanta grade. Lê! Lê, 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 lê. 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 lelê, né? Quem quer paz não pode plantar sangue no asfalto, no morro, no mangue, vai voltar pra você bumerangue. Quem quer paz não pode plantar sangue no asfalto, no morro, no mangue, vai voltar pra você bumerangue. Lelê, 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 lelê. Bumerangue! Tem!
Very good, my friend.
E aí, mano, você fala pra eles que é o seguinte: isso é um rap com maracatu. Maracatu é um ritmo tradicional do Nordeste, certo? Com tambores, ok? Nós usamos nessa música vários instrumentos nordestinos, como a rabeca, que é o violino do sertão brasileiro, né? Fundado ali pelo movimento armorial, ou seja, é uma mistura de rap com músicas regionais. E o meu flow, ele tem muito do repente, né? Hoje eu sei que pensar incomoda como andar na chuva, tá ligado? O repente, que é a técnica de improviso dos nordestinos aqui no Brasil, né? Uma população sertaneja, tradicional, enfim, né? Muito esse lance da oralidade.
Right. Let me go with the translation. So this is a rap, of course, but is a mix with what we call the North Brazilian rhythm, which is like a very cultural, very strong cultural thing in Brazil. And in North Brazilian music, we got like drums and rhythms that we call maracatu. They are very famous. When you hear maracatu, is quite easy to recognize because it's a very special rhythm and it's a very special thing in Brazil. So what Renan did on this music is like mix the rap with this cultural and this strong culture from north of Brazil and maracatu, where he mix and he does his rhymes and his bars and all this improvisation of trying to put the rhythms together with the drums of maracatu and etc. And I think that's it. Ó, falei, hein?
Falou, né? Então, acho que é isso. Mano, queria dar um salve aí, agradecer todo mundo. Fala que eu mandei um muito obrigado para todos. Espero encontrá-los em breve, pessoalmente, aí nas ruas de Londres, junto com a estátua da Amy Winehouse.
So, yeah, guys, he just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity. And he said he wants to come here again and meet us in person in Camden Town with the Amy Winehouse statue. Yeah, as I said, we came here already, and for one of the poetry nights we did in Camden Town on the Made in Brazil bar, we did a video with Renan was with like a megaphone on the streets, literally screaming on the street and say, "Parada poética, você vem aqui amanhã, vulgo tomorrow."
Atenção, atenção, Camden Town. Atenção, atenção, Camden Town.
Yeah, that's it, guys. I think, yeah, he just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope you enjoyed this. It was special. We tried to bring a little bit of the energy for you, and yeah.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. My cheeks hurt from smiling. There was so much energy. That was amazing. That's why I love this show. We're worldwide. Anything goes. Everyone goes. I love it. We'll put all the socials at the end, so if anyone wants to check out Renan or Tiago, then they can, and drop a message, use a little Google Translate. That was amazing. Thank you so much. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone loved that. The comments were popping off. Everyone seems to be loving it. Like, I love how even if you can't understand something, like just the energy comes across and it can just make you feel so happy. Like, I love that. Thank you everyone commenting as well. Keep them coming. And we'll do some shout outs as well. So now we're gonna move on to the next guest. So this is a regular. We've had them every single show, so I couldn't not have them for the last show. We're going to have the amazing podcasters Katie and Bevan. They run a classical podcast where you hear all about their hilarious interpretations of classic novels, and they have some really important conversations along the way. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
You've been here every single time. We love you.
No, make it sound like we don't have much on. We don't.
No, it's always so hard to get these girls on. They're so busy.
We've so many around our busy lives.
Yes.
So what are you going to be chatting about today?
Well, so obviously we often talk about kind of like feminist issues and stuff, and so we were thinking of what's kind of quite a feminist issue, but also has some more spiritual side connections to it, because you know there's a lot of like spiritualness in these shows, and we landed on witchcraft.
Exciting.
What's like both within witchcraft, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about not just the Salem witch trials, but like the witch trials that were happening around the time of the Salem witch hunts. And
well, I'm not talking about Salem's.
well, no, that's what I mean, but you're talking about witchcraft. So do you want to kick us off?
I can kick us off,
ladies.
If that's what you want, you know, we could replicate, a witch trial right here.
We could just act it out. Tell me what witch.
So I looked at a couple of sources. I looked at this talk done by this Dr. Elinda Damasma, and she's a lecturer in biblical Hebrew. And she basically has done a talk on the White Witch and the decline of the White Witch sort of throughout history.
From Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah. I like it.
I liked it. And she comes from like an interesting starting point that when I looked at other sources as well, they all kind of united as a starting point about the language around witches. And so so basically in like the poorer parts of the community, there would always be like spiritual healers and dealing with they call them cunning folk.
Yeah.
And they would always be there, and they kind of be part of the community, and you'd go to them for help for certain things. But then when the richer people started like cottoning onto this, they started calling them witches. And so she was like, so you might think, okay, in one part of the country or world, they have one name, and in another part, they have another name. What's the big deal? But the difference is when poor people have something that's going on, if they're not happy with it, they have no power to change it. So hence the cunning people were sort of welcomed and integrated, maybe not welcomed, but integrated into their communities.
Yeah.
If rich people have a name for something and they don't like it, they write it into laws and have it prohibited. So they're richer people. So
assholes.
so they were witches. They wanted to get rid of them because it was something different. Okay. And the thing, again, because the poor people didn't have any resources or anything at their hands, they had to kind of lump it and learn from them and get on with it, whereas rich people had so much power and resources, they didn't have to allocate any time to being like, so you say you deal with magic, well, how does that manifest, how does that look? They were just like, I don't like it, and hence
I don't like it, therefore no.
Sure, you shall die.
It's different from us, therefore it's evil.
Literally. And so she is looking like from a biblical point of view, and she talks about Mesopotamia, which is ancient Asia, and basically originally a lot of the spiritual needs of people were fulfilled by priestesses. But as time went on, they said these needs should be fulfilled by male gods.
Obviously, because why not introduce the patriarchy into every walk of life?
And so these priestesses, which had been doing certain things for years and years and years, were suddenly kind of like removed from their position of like respect. But they kept like going around in the community, still helping people, and people were still asking for their help. And of course, what does the patriarchy do when it sees women going around with no need for men? They're like, well, they're going around all day, and we don't know what's going on. They're whores, and they should be. They're whores, and they should be burnt. So they were like, they're clearly going around all day shagging the devil. What else would they be doing?
It's literally like, oh yeah, I'm here to do a job, like I'm helping heal people.
Mm.
Well, I have a penis. Let me have a go. Well, no, people are dying, so I think I'll just carry on. Off with her.
Off with her, like, burn her. It's just suspicious. Like, you say you're going around and you've got stuff going on, and you have no need for men. Sounds like a mistake to me.
But what about me and my penis?
Yeah, where do we get involved? You're not really involved.
Well, I don't like it that way.
And there's this whole thing that patriarchal control, in the patriarchy's way that they're putting it forward, goes hand in hand with moral superiority.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, no, if you're going around doing your own thing without men, that must mean you're morally inferior and you're doing terrible, unholy things.
So frustrating.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, we have control, because when you let us be in control, then you're morally righteous.
Then you're morally righteous because you're doing what we want to do.
Hence religion being a tool of governments to keep you compliant. Especially with early Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, talking about patriarchal control, did you know Charles I wrote a book all about recognising different magical creatures like fairies, vampires and stuff?
Amazing.
And he wrote it because he was like, well, we're overrun with these magical creatures, and people,
are we?
Yeah, people have to learn to recognise them and therefore deal with them. And he is the only monarch to have written a book on the occult. And now,
do we have any examples of like how to recognise them?
Well, so I also did some research. I listened to the Dead to Me podcast, because Lot's my favourite, and they had this Professor Susanna Lipscomb on there, and she said, you're probably a bit young for it, but the TV series True Blood.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah, she was like, they blatantly read the book, because there's things like in that vampires use glamours, and so it's kind of like you could look at a vampire but see it as like your mum or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, come in, mum. And then the vampire like, no, thank you, let me suck up blood. So yeah, he wrote about those sort of things. So it's kind of like, a lot of it is a kind of
traditional vampire-y,
what you think is going on now.
Yeah.
And then, so that was kind of
what we think is going on now. I don't think vampires are still out there.
Sure, man. Keep your head in the sand if that's what you want to do.
Just be very careful of who you invite in.
Well, yeah, always check for ID. So, that was kind of going on in sort of like ancient Asia and everything. So I had a look at what was going on more in like Europe and England.
Yeah.
And they were saying in the times of the witch trials, it was a time when there were a lot more female monarchs, and therefore like women rising up and getting more power. And they were sort of seeing like, shit.
I don't like that.
Yeah, literally, like if you give a woman power, she's actually quite formidable. Let's fucking stop that
also,
right
not
now.
Even, like formidable, because it's this idea like, oh, women in power equals scary, and it's like, well, you're not frightened of the king.
Yeah,
like,
they're getting shit done, and it hasn't all gone up in flames. Well, something's going up in flames. It's that witch.
It's like how it's like, well, we've never had a female president before. I don't think we could have one now. We've also never had a war started by a woman, but
I would put that out there. And then it was this whole like, so they're kind of like saying, oh no, women can't, be dynamic, be going out there and doing. Women should be meek and quiet, because then it shows they're pious. And I was like, what this whole idea that to be like religiously pious, that you have to be quiet and sort of refined.
It's literally like a way of allowing abuse. It's literally like, keep quiet, don't rock the boat.
It's also bollocks. Like, was Jesus meek and quiet when he went into the temple?
And also he was like, the meek will inherit the earth. Therefore, the meek kind of were meant to overcome it all. Like,
just be waiting there at the end. Like, I'll take that. When he went into the temple and it was filled with all the market stalls, he was literally He literally flipped tables.
He literally flipped the fucking table.
Yeah. And obviously Jesus was kind of meant to be the pinnacle of like, religious top guy. And so and again, Joan of Arc. Like, where are all the Joan of Arcs at? I'll tell you what, they've been fucking burned.
They've been burned.
But it's this whole thing like, oh no, but the women should be meek and pious. Like, that's not what it says in the Bible. You're actually at loggerhead saying that because you want to control people. At least fucking own it.
At least be honest with it.
Yeah.
But you see it so much, like, not to bash religious texts. There's some religions are really beautiful, but you do see a lot in Christianity where it is just sort of like so not controversial, whereas it's going against itself. So
yeah, contradictory.
Contradictory.
The
That's
thing is, I would say, the religious texts as they stand, sure, loads of them are beautiful and like really like beautiful
and some of
sentiment.
them, like need a bit about dating.
It's when the religious peddlers get involved, the government, and start saying, no, you should do this because we want you to do it, but we're going to use the reasoning of the Bible to back it up.
I read this thing a while ago, and I can't remember exactly how it was a while ago, but it was basically saying that the word used for paedophile in the Bible, people then took to try to kind of twist it to mean gay. So in the original text of the Bible, apparently, I don't know if I can prove this, I was just reading about it. Apparently, that doesn't actively say like, oh, being gay is wrong, and like perverse and stuff. It's like saying that being a pedo is wrong and perverse.
It's like the word incest originally. It just comes from like it's a bit wrong, and then over time it's like being
that meaning
put onto like familial relationships. Familial. I was just sort of saying it's the narrative used from the Bible in order to kind of bolster up their arguments, like, no, you should be meek and pious, and if you're not, you're a goddamn witch. And I was like, I was like, human behaviour doesn't have to change now. Yeah. It's all about sort of scapegoating people as well, and being like, no, they're to blame for all the problems that are going on. So like, that's still going on. Also, I had another interesting thing that this professor brought up, which is kind of similar to the crone theory you've said before. Yeah. But it's this whole idea of motherhood. And so basically, when women were married, they back in the sort of witch trials in like the 1500s, they were pregnant every other year. And so if you look at artists of the time, they've depicted women with like these massive fleshy bodies and these saggy stomachs and big heavy breasts, because that is literally what they looked like. Yeah. Because, oh God, what a fucking life.
Oh, I mean, like you know, you never know when someone who's pregnant, you know, it's a rough ride.
Every other year, you'd literally wear yourself out. But witches in the same sort of time are depicted as like shriveled up old crones. And the key point being that they're unfertile. Yeah. And so because they're unfertile, they are motivated to copulate with the devil. Yeah. Because no one else is going to shag them.
It's literally this idea, sort of like, if she's not in some way related or has connections to a man, then what the hell is she doing? Clearly she must be in league with the devil.
Must be evil. And it's the whole thing. And they're motivated to attack young mothers and children because they are the ultimate anti-mother. So they go against
that. It's such an idea that women have to be nurturing, have to be maternal. Like, there's complete bollocks. Like, no, you don't.
It's this thing as well about tapping into power, because they're like, women have their power because they've been given the power to carry and create life. Yeah. And so that's where, you know, they get their standing in society. But once that's gone, they have to get their power through unholy other means, because they can't just be happy with their lot in life.
I don't know, maybe like just live their life, you know. Say that men do.
Just sort of get on with it. And also historically, women are portrayed as being really power hungry, but once they get power, it corrupts them. Hence Lady Macbeth. She's the one kind of like pushing it, but the second she gets it, she goes clackers, because women can't handle power.
It's interesting, isn't it, that, you know, women are portrayed as like hysterical, like uncontrollable, voids of emotion and everything. It's like, sorry, but you know, I think the amount of school shootings done by women is way less than men. The amount of wars started again.
And we have a default in our society to blame women as well, because Iceland, during the witch trials, do you know what percentage of the people they prosecuted were male?
How many? 0?
No, Iceland's got much more progressive gender views.
50%?
92% were male.
It's men.
But it just shows within our society, we just have a predisposition to like, well, I'd say it was the woman's fault, which is the Eve complex. And
you see it still so much today. Like, you know, if you see a single dad, it's like, oh, isn't he wonderful? Look at him raising his child, and he didn't even walk out.
It's so nice.
But you see a single mum, like, well, clearly, like, you know, she must have been hell to live with. Look at her on her own, clearly no responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could always be doing more.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, the man, so happy you're not doing less.
Like, the guy, he's like struggling to plait the little girl's hands, like, oh, bless him. And then, you know, the mum puts the wrong socks on, like, disgraceful mother. And you're like,
And it's also like, so this thing about blaming women. So at the time of the witch trials, there was quite a lot going on in England/the world. So in England, there was civil war, and it was the whole Puritan movement again, being like, be pious and nice or I'll fucking burn you, you dick. But also, there was kind of like a mini ice age going on worldwide.
Just to add.
Yeah. This is it, like the temperature plummeted and loads of like...
So just to throw a spanner in the works. Yes. There's no chance they were trying to help the women. Like, it's really cold, love. Have some fire.
Have some fire. Toast up. They were like, it's fucking freezing. I'm gonna burn the women. What? Okay, it is really fucking
Like,
cold.
you know when you're so cold you feel it in like, your bones and you get so close to the fire. Maybe one day people are like, should we just get in?
Just someone like comes in like, oh, that fire's going nicely. What do you put on that? Grandma.
Oh.
I'm down.
You know what? It's desperate times.
Desperate times. But yeah, literally crops were failing. Like, it was a really fucking hard time to be alive. And they were just like, we need to fucking blame something.
Women!
I think it was a fucking witch.
When in doubt, if you're ever in a position in your life and you feel that, like, you know, maybe you've done something really wrong, just turn to the nearest woman and make it harmful.
The thing is, human nature hasn't changed that much. When shit is going on and you needing to like scapegoat and direct your anger somewhere, hence like
everyone seems to be angry with Meghan Markle at the moment. It's like, hey man, she didn't mess up for the pandemic.
I was going to say, look at the headlines just this week. White privilege is responsible for white children being overlooked and living in poverty. Like, no, I think you'll find the government that was literally trying to get people to starve kids and like saying how it was a good idea like, might be slightly responsible.
Don't turn like marginalised groups on each other. Like, no, the fact that they're marginalised groups because of you is the problem.
Exactly.
Boris.
And I was like, nothing's changed. We're still fucking witch hunters. And that is what our government is putting forward. Because you know what? It fucking works. And they're not stupid. It turns them against each other. Hence fucking Brexit. People voting for Brexit who are living in like the shittiest parts of this country.
You're like,
it fucking won't help you. And then they're saying, well, I want to get those foreigners out. And you're like, why? Well, that's not the fucking problem. The fucking problem is that we have a terrible Tory government that is there to exploit you and steal your fucking money. Literally, and they're saying like, I don't know. I think I'd rather blame the foreigners. It's still fucking witch hunts and it's still going on now. And it's just like, you spend 5 minutes reading about history and you're like, no, we can see how it's happened and we can see what's changed. Do you know why the witch hunts changed?
Why?
Well, they stopped, sorry.
Yeah.
So basically, because it was like the devil bringing about evidence, and they were like, well, if I was the devil, I'd like cover my tracks pretty well, so she's a witch. So they started sort of saying like, actually no, once the war kind of started winding up and they were like, you've burned how many people?
It's like the thing, like when one sibling's doing something naughty and you've like spilled paint all down the stairs and your mum just turns around like, you've been doing what?
Yeah, literally. Shit, okay, yeah, maybe not. So they're like, you've killed...
Shit, there's no woman around to blame.
Like, you've killed how many? And they were like, okay, no, this isn't going to fucking fly. You need more proof than this. And so they had to have, like, 2 witnesses. Oh, and also, do you know why most witches are, like, old women?
Because they're not bearing kids.
Well, that, but also because you had to have a certain amount of crimes to bring against them. And also, if you suspected someone was a witch, you didn't have enough evidence against them. You didn't want to piss her off. She was like, give it to a frog. So, yeah, they waited for them to be a bit old. Like, well, 15 years ago, I saw you bite a plum and you said it tasted like an apple. Sounds pretty witchy. So they were like, okay, one, you need more evidence. And do you know what they did in Germany?
What?
In Germany, they said, what was it? They were like, if you bring a witch to trial and she's not guilty, you get hung. So, and you know what? The accusations dropped right off.
There's also the thing, like, people are literally targeting people for things like, oh, you stole the milk from my cow. Like,
yeah, and put it in your cow.
Yeah, or just stupid things. Oh, you slept with my husband or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's not a nice thing to do, but she didn't deserve to die.
Yeah, literally. And again, we know all about the trials of them being like, well, if she dies, she's innocent.
Yeah.
This is an imperfect system.
This is not perfect. But yeah, it's messed up.
It's messed
so
up.
That leads in quite nicely. So what I was going to kind of talk about was more about the Salem witch trials and like the witch trials more in America. So I always find it funny, like people always talk about the Salem witch trials as being like this big massive thing. Do you know how many people died over the course of a few years? You know,
it's like 92,000 as a whole. So I don't know.
You know how many witches were killed? Witches.
Yeah. So
19.
What, 19?
19.
I was gonna say, I think it's 92,000 worldwide. So.
Yeah. This is the thing. Like Salem always gets talked about as being like the massive witch hunts. So it's like, yeah, there were a lot of witch hunts, but this because there were other things going on. You know, people got trapped in prison. A lot of people were like, but that's the thing. They were like, oh, they weren't. Yeah, but 14 out of the 19 were women. Obviously. And on the odd occasion when a man was accused, it was normally because he was either like the son of a witch or married to a witch. So it's like, you're probably
just connected. Not an actual witch.
So women held like a precarious, mostly powerless position within the deeply religious Puritan community at the time that we were talking about. And yeah, like we were saying, it's like they have to be meek, they have to be quiet, they have to respect their husband.
Yeah, I guess shut the fuck up and fall in line.
Literally. So they thought, the Puritans thought that women should be having babies, raising children, manage the household, and model Christian subservience, basically, to their husbands. Yeah, like you were saying, calling Eve's sinfulness. So like you must always pay for Eve's sins. So we're not paying for Adam, just going and fuck along with it, maybe. I don't know.
I just love as well. Like, look, we know what happened to Eve. Like, are we still coming back to that?
It's like it's a pretty contentious point. It's also like, we're really coming still back to Eve. What about, like, I don't know, all the wars?
Also, like, from that point of view, why was the apple or the fruit, the forbidden fruit in the garden? Like,
talk about someone being a dick. I'm going to talk about the snake.
Yeah, literally. We're pointing fingers here.
Yeah, like, I've got a question to pick with snake. And you know what, Marianne? I'm going to bone to pick with God. Why'd you put the fruit there?
Exactly. Like, eventually she's been manipulated into it.
Yeah, but then again, like, there are other readings with Adam and Eve and with Pandora's box, which is the kind of similar thing. Like, Pandora opens the box and lets out, like, old age and death and all of this. But it's also this idea that, you know, like, no, like, the men of the world at this point were, like, almost like children, like, so naive and innocent, and that the women were like, you cannot have happiness and peace and life without death, without sadness. It doesn't work. So women are the ones that are, like, setting the balance and actually righting the world, like, you know, because I mean, you
wholeness of reality.
Yeah, you can't be happy unless you also know what sadness is. It's just that's just life. So I like that reading of it. But yeah, so the women who were normally accused of being witches were women who stepped outside their prescribed roles, and that's they became targets. So things that were considered witchy were too much wealth might reflect sinful gains. Too little money might demonstrate bad character. Right. Too many children could indicate a deal with the devil, and having too few children was, well, suspicious.
To be honest.
It's just like, so breathing, basically.
Yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah.
So here are some, like, examples of, like, what happened to women. There's nothing really gross and graphic, it's just frustrating. Mary Webster of Massachusetts was married without children and relied on neighborly charity to survive. Fair enough. And apparently Webster was not meek and grateful enough for the alms of her she received. Now that's all it says on this. Like, do we think, given the time period, that maybe they were like, I'll give you a slice of bread if you suck my cock? Like,
also, so little has changed. Think about how vilified people are on benefits within our society.
Literally, and it's like, get a fucking job, and it's like, no. Do you not realise how fucked the system is?
Also, like, they're still, like, not having a great quality of life. And, like, you should be fucking grateful you've got benefits. You're like, oh, so fucking grateful I get to scrape by and not afford eating.
It's this idea as well, like, I mean, yeah, people on benefits are having a bad time, but also like, oh, you should be so grateful you're in a job, and it's like, I'm so grateful that I work 40 plus hours a week for someone else to be really rich and, you know, for me to just get fucked over.
Yeah, like, thanks for that.
Thanks so much. Like, just really shit. Literally. Like, it's like, and it's like a way of silencing, isn't it? Oh, you should be grateful that that's not worse. Like, that's what they say, isn't it? Sort of like, if someone's like mentally abusive in relations, they're like, oh, you should be grateful he doesn't hit you. And it's like, no, that's a silencing tool, and it's abuse.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, Paul, what was it? Mary Webster.
Yeah. So her neighbours accused her of witchcraft in 1683, when she was around 60 years old. So, you know, older. So they're building up claims against her.
Pretty witchy for a long time.
She's been around suspicious for a while. Witchy Webster. Yeah, she claimed she worked with the devil to bewitch local livestock. Like. I mean, it just sounds like our mum. She just gets on with sheep, all right?
Yes, all right. Yeah, they used to say she's a witch. I saw her talking to a bird. It's like, oh, mum. Like, well, it was a very nice robin.
It was a very nice robin. Like, sometimes it's nice just to have a shout.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was accused of being a witch, and the court which presided over the case of witchcraft, declared her not guilty, and the accused but she was like sentenced to years in prison beforehand, and you're like, oh, it's okay though, we've proved you're not guilty, and it's like, well, thanks, I just spent like 3 years in prison, like,
yeah, and probably got really, really like dangerously ill in the process.
Yeah. So there's another witch, Mary Bliss Parsons of Northampton, Massachusetts, was the opposite of Webster. She was the wife of the wealthiest man in town, mother of 9 healthy children. So, you know, on the surface, like a model person. But the neighbours found Parson to be a woman of forcible speech and domineering ways. So again, not me.
Yeah.
And historian James Russell Trumlin wrote in his 1898 History of Northampton, in 1674, she was charged with witchcraft. And again, you know, like, she wasn't killed, but she went through an awful lot of, like, the trials where it's sort of like, oh yes, if you rip her toe off and it bleeds, she'd be a witch. And
I was kind of using that.
yeah, they did some messed up stuff.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Clawson, she was accused of bewitching a servant girl named Kate Branch. Both women were confident and determined, ready to express their opinions and to stand their ground when crossed. I mean, that ain't a sign of witchcraft. I don't know what it is.
Come on, ladies, turn your brain on. So you say you're not a witch.
I wouldn't know. I'm far too meek. That sounds like the sort of thing the devil would say to cover his tracks. Clawson was found not guilty after spending 5 months in jail. Great. The other one remained imprisoned for almost a year until she was acquitted. And both had to pay the fines and fees related to their imprisonment.
Fucking hell.
So annoying.
That's not changing the American justice system, actually,
so
or us, really.
No, it's so messed up. So, but also women tended to be the victim. Well, yeah, they were victims, obviously. But also, the victims of witchcraft attacks. So it was girls would come forward being like, oh, I've broken out in weird boils, I'm having these weird fits, I think I might be possessed and stuff. So these things seem to no matter what, it seemed to attack women.
There were cases as well of women confessing. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a famous one in England where a guy just dropped down and had a heart attack, and I think he was a bit of a dick, and there was a woman by him, she was like, I did think he was a dick. Shit, I did that!
This is the brain, isn't it? You tell people oh, there's these evil women around. There are women who are these dark evil thoughts, and who hasn't had an evil thought about someone once in their life? And the one time they actually die in front of you.
God, something every time you're a witch.
I know, so selfish. Yeah. But so witches, man, they're cool. And going back to the crone theory and the mother thing, that's just I read my dissertation on this, so I like it. Basically, the idea is, that women have to be in some way related to a man. So you have the lover, the mother, and the crone. And so the lover's obviously she's sexy, she's pretty, and she's the love interest, and that's her role. She doesn't get anything else. The mother, she is she's probably not sexy anymore. She's maternal, she's loving, she's kind, she's caring, and that's her role. She's related to
welcoming
being a mom.
bosoms.
Yeah, that's it. That's all she gets. She doesn't get anything else.
Decent.
The crone is the one who can go outside of these two norms of being connected to a man. She doesn't have to be connected to a man, but because of that, she's evil.
Yeah, and gets burnt.
The patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Oh, and then it's also always depicted that the crone is ugly because, as we all know, it only matters that you're sexy for men.
Of course. Why else would you have beauty?
Why would you ever want when yourself? Obviously, you only want to be attractive for boys to wank over you.
Yeah, you want to give that joy to a man.
Exactly, and use it to rear beautiful children.
Of course.
To have it to yourself makes you vain and selfish.
And
a witch.
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
On that note, any suspicious people in your lives, keep an eye. No.
Keep an eye.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, girls.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. I like when you say even women start to believe they're witches. I can literally imagine that happening. They told it so much. Something freaky happens one time. You're like, hold up. Am I what they're talking about?
Sorry, didn't realise.
That's so funny. It's crazy. It's crazy how the world has changed, but also how you said it's actually so similar still.
Literally, you see it so much in things books we read where they're talking about male characters, and they talk about it in a bad way, gaslighting the women. So you knew it was bad then. Why are you still doing it?
But just saying, human nature doesn't change. Tricks now, as they have been for hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of years.
Does it work?
Because it fucking works. It's designed that way.
Yeah.
So hence why we need to protest, defund the police, burn it all to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Not a right. Yeah. Take away your.
Yeah, don't tell Priti Patel anyone.
She might be watching.
She can't.
I like how someone in the comments said you sound very passionate about this topic. This is unclassical, okay? This is why everyone needs to watch the podcast. No matter what topic it is, they're this passionate. It's amazing.
We've got a lot to be angry about. Everyone does.
Morning, no, patriarchy pissed me off today.
I would love to see the text that you two send each other just throughout the day.
lot of angst and a lot of animal memes.
Oh, so many animal memes. Just a,
It's balance, isn't it?
It's balance. If anyone wants to listen to you or get in touch with you, where should they go?
Oh, is it me? So you can find us on Instagram, and if you just type in like Unclassical pop up, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
What else do people use for podcasts nowadays? I think we're on all of them.
There's another one that's or something.
Who knows?
If you type in Unclassical, you'll see our lovely faces in black and white, and that'll be us. And we're there.
Amazing. Thank you so much, girls. It was so nice speaking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. They're amazing. Everyone needs to follow them. How are we all doing? So many people enjoyed that chat. That was so good. I'm loving all the comments as well. Thank you so much for everyone getting involved. I'll do some shout outs. How about that? We'll shout out Lisa. She's been commenting a lot. Lola, Chloe, Sam. I don't know what the 22 person. Thank you for commenting. This is really, really lovely. Okay, let's move on to our next guest. I'm so excited for this guest because she's so cool. Oh, it's Ash. Oh, hi, Ash. That's the 22. This next guest is so cool, and she sent in the coolest video ever, so I can't wait to play it. She's from Brazil, so we're gonna do a little translation again. We're gonna have Tiago. So I'm just gonna pass you over. He'll do a little interview, and then we'll play the video. So I'll see you soon.
Hello. Can you all hear me again? Nice. So yeah, thanks Chelsea for passing over to us again, and I believe she can say something without any translation. Can you, Anna? Acho que você tá muda. Just a second. We are live in the live. We're gonna make it work.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. This happens in the best families.
Hello, guys.
Hello. Well, so she's an artist from Brazil, from Mato Grosso do Sul, which is basically in the middle of the country. And she's also a DJ and producer of electronic music, mainly psychedelic trance music. And just a fun fact about us, I met her in a festival in Brazil where we were like, festival Mundo de Oz, World of Oz, where we were like both playing. And we just find out when we met for the first time that we would be playing after each other and the day after. And I was like, oh, I can't believe it. You're playing there, I'm playing as well. So it was like such a nice and fun moment. This is how we met for the first time. And yeah, and then she's also does a work, I believe, with this circus crew. And that's why she's here today as well, because she just released a new video, and the title of the video is The Future Woman, which does say things about the woman for the future, which basically I believe it's like right now. And do you want to say something even in Portuguese, Ana? We can speak in Portuguese, no problem.
Yes, guys, nice. Thank you for having me. Well, I don't speak very well in English, so I will talk in Portuguese about my work. Mulher do Futuro, The Future Woman, foi um trabalho que eu realizei nesse período da pandemia e foi muito legal porque a gente teve que se readaptar, né, em vários sentidos nesse período. E a Mulher do Futuro é meio que um fruto de tudo isso, sim. Eu consegui colocar a minha expressão de uma forma onde não só o movimento do circo falava, não só o meu corpo falava, mas a poesia falava, a música falava e todo o contexto falava de acordo com aquela mensagem, né? E aí disso nasceu a Mulher do Futuro, que foi mais assim um grito de expressão. Quando eu comecei a fazer a performance, a criar tudo, eu logo pensei que não seria uma performance que ia ser só para mim, uma coisa minha. Ia ser um grito que ia contemplar assim, todas as mulheres. Porque é uma coisa que não é só eu que estou falando, eu que passo, eu que vivo, eu que sinto, né? Então, quando eu fui fazer, eu já sabia que ia ser uma coisa para todas. Uma voz que falaria por todas as mulheres. Né? Então, partindo do princípio que a arte cura, a arte liberta, a arte é isso nas nossas vidas, a mulher do futuro, ela veio para trazer isso, assim. É como se a gente transitasse pelo tempo, pelas ideias da mulher do passado, dessa mulher que sofria vários preconceitos, né? Que todos nós sabemos, e conversando com essa mulher do futuro, com a mulher que se liberta, com a mulher que vive, que encara, que vai para frente e que teve que se adaptar com tudo isso para sobreviver e ainda assim ser uma mulher forte. Então, pô, eu acho legal você falar essas palavras, tia, eu não consigo traduzir, mas
Tá,
assim, para a galera ter uma ideia do que foi esse trabalho.
beleza. Nossa, é muito massa. I will try to translate, Chelsea. But it's very powerful, and what she said is this video, and it was like all created by now during the pandemic, and they had to adapt everything to make this happen. But mainly, she said, how can I say? She just wants to represent not just her, but all the women through this video, through this work, is through the movement as well, through like the performance, to the poetry, to like the lyrics. But yeah, it's basically because the art she represents, the art can bring for the future woman the freedom, because all the history have in the past, the woman, they had to be always very strong to go through everything, fighting against loads of like I forgot how to say preconceito. Well, to fight against everything that always the woman being like I guess the people say I guess the woman, but even being an artist, that you are strong and you can put out there beautiful things. And now through this video she can show like how powerful they are and how they can have their freedom and how they can make the art happen, how they can be their own, they can have their own lives pretty much alive through the art, representing so all the women, not just her. So yeah, this is like pretty much about the woman, the future woman. E assim, em português agora, né, de novo, eu sei que você falou bastante do vídeo, mas assim, a gente tinha até conversado antes, e existe um motivo de por que vocês decidiram fazer? Acho que é por causa disso, né, da vontade de expressar esse sentimento, ou foi alguma ideia que vocês tiveram, que alguém, tipo, ou foi você mesmo que falou, não, eu vou fazer isso?
Então, basicamente, esse vídeo, porque eu sempre me apresentei em grupo, né? Eu sempre tive apresentações em grupo e nunca tinha desenvolvido um trabalho assim, voltado para performance sozinha, sempre foi com o grupo. Então, ele nasceu dessa necessidade também de me expressar sozinha. E também aqui no Brasil, em Campo Grande, Mato Grosso do Sul, aconteceu um projeto de lei do Estado e que contemplava os artistas na pandemia, né? Que era um auxílio, e esse auxílio iria contemplar tanto o circo, como a música, como as artes visuais, como as plásticas, diversas categorias da arte. E aí eu criei toda essa ideia da performance para esse edital, que foi esse
Ah,
edital
massa.
da Lei Aldir Blanc aqui do Brasil.
Eu acompanhei um pouco várias pessoas que foram contempladas.
Isso.
Massa.
O edital aconteceu no Brasil inteiro, na verdade, né? Foi bem legal.
Right. So just to translate again, I just asked her what was like the main reason that why they thought about creating this video, and she said she does a lot of work with the circles as a group, but she felt as well that like a necessity of putting just herself as well as like doing something, but also because now during the pandemic, the government of the country, they launched like a program where artists could like try to do like they could apply to get some money from the government to create some art during the pandemic, so make like videos, online things and everything. So because of this offer from the government for them to be able to apply for like kind of job, so they created this whole idea of the video and everything, and that's why she did the whole performance and created the video. And yeah, I think we can play the video, right?
Right.
Aqui manifesta-se a voz de uma descompassada, louca. E as loucas como eu são permitidas algumas licenças de contravenção, e também as poéticas. Talvez todos estejam temerosos com a andança dessa poesia. Insisto, não temo. Temer a andança da política ou dessa poesia, num momento como esse, é tragicamente insustentável. Era jovem, a chamavam de arrogante, mas até qualquer principiante sabia como discordar dela com primazia. O discurso inflamado de revolta, a voz clamante, rouca, pedia por companhia. Gritava ela: não compitam. Esse é sonho ou pesadelo? Nada mais que fantasia. Do escambo à moeda, tudo isso tornar-se-á tirania. Na face, carregava um sorriso assustado, temente do outro, temente do homo, o sapiens sapiens, seu próprio carrasco, sapiente, frustrado. Quando olhou no espelho, era manhã. Pensou que seria diferente. A pobre mulher, depois de hoje, ainda é a mesma. Ela vê o que reflete, não percebe que o que vê é apenas aparência. Amanhã olhará de novo, um dia, e será sempre mulher. Uma jovem mulher resumida a cinzas, cidadã, indigna de honra de seus conterrâneos e conterrâneas. Ratazana, traiçoeira, atraída pelos meios. Subterfúgios, subterrâneos, submundanos. Ela que já viveu por esses caminhos, agora parece despida, na frente dos cidadãos de bem. A julgaram tola, tantas vezes alertada sobre as vilanias desvirtuosas daqueles que fogem do padrão.
Frases desconexas que se revelam janelas, completando um parágrafo único, no intuito de trazer clareza no que foi dito, construção, interpretação, críticas de uma realidade desigual, indolente, fuga do normal. Esse é o meu mundo.
Parti, deixando muitas coisas. Uma delas era algo que não faria falta para muitos. As outras, todas tinham algo em comum. A constante e repetitiva. Deixe-as. Pura postergação do fato mutacional. Até o dia em que parti. Separei parte por parte. Coloquei cada um no seu contexto. Observei, analisei, quantifiquei, comparei, pus à prova, repeti tudo de novo, organizei meu pensamento, criamos uma hipótese do todo, fizemos do todo o que ele é, uma abstração das partes. Parti, rumo à incerteza, à dúvida e à imprecisão dos meus interesses. Passa tempo, antes que ele passe, e o presente do indicativo não se faça mais. Passo, aceno, para me veres no segundo futuro. O que tanto tentamos aprender com o passado? Para confortar as incertezas e os próximos movimentos? O próximo e mais um? Assim vivemos novamente. Olhando para trás, nos deparamos com as mesmas angústias e ansiedades de outrora. Caímos em questionamentos. Poucas respostas são desenterradas. Ora, o quão determinados somos em tentar manter o muro que erguemos? Será que por termos esse ambiente hostil, que pouco caso faz da nossa transparente suplicância por aceitação, dizemos com todas as forças: me aceitem! Essa necessidade tão solene, que é ser aceito, remete a outra, que chamamos de defesa. Somos tão únicas. Por que nos ferem dessa forma? Ontem nascia um ser estranho, livre de muitos pelos, frágil, diminuto. Suas cossemelhantes a estranharam bastante, já que não conseguia interagir muito. Ontem, a natureza disse uma vivente que se dizia autoconsciente. Cedeu um novo presente. Hoje, hipoteticamente hoje, esse processo histórico de aprendizagem somente é o instante presente. O amanhã depende de nós, fortes, unidas, ou pende, para mim, pro meu, pro teu, pro fim do eu. Estranho ser estranha, No mundo onde o que me parece normal é tão normal para os normais. Estranho é pensar no tempo. Quando olho para tudo isso, noto o tempo que levará para que muitos compreendam o que aqui foi dito. Estranho ainda no século XXI, o estranho me estranhar. E eu, por medo do conflito, desviar o meu olhar. Eu não sei mais o que fazer. Não sabia ontem. Hoje tão pouco. Que contraditório. O que fazer no futuro? Farei o quê? Agora? Faço? O que fiz? Pensei, simbolizei. Continuo fazendo a mesma coisa. Mas isso é vago. Faço, mas não faço. Para alguns, algo. Para a maioria, nada.
Senhoras e senhores, peço-lhes humildemente, libertem-se deste cárcere. Sejam excepcionais. Façam jus à vossa sapiência. Peço-lhes, meus caros, sejam humanos. Libertem-se deste cárcere. Sim, sois vós, seus próprios carcereiros. Aqueles que se recusam a ver com outros olhos. Aqueles que estão conformados. Sejam humanos. Libertem-me deste cárcere. Ele embarreia o contato com os meus semelhantes. Deixem-me viver. Não quero passar o resto dos meus momentos conscientes sobrevivendo. Ajudem-me a caminhar sem preocupações vãs. Sois tão racionais quanto eu. Sois humanos. Libertem-me. Libertem-se. E quando passarmos unidos, não mais lutarei por liberdade.
That was so amazing. Let's go. We'll go back to them so that they can chat some more and say goodbye. So we're gonna go back to Tiago again.
Yeah, that was really good video. Yeah, it's a shame that we cannot make the live subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask her. Maybe we can find, we can have the text, and then maybe we can send over to you guys so you can read. I can try to translate, but while the video was playing, I was thinking about, like, she used some words in Portuguese that I was like, that's gonna be hard to translate, you know, because it's like a very specific word. Yeah, I don't know how to explain. It's just like that. Maybe it's just in Portuguese, you know.
Expressions or something.
Yeah, but I will try. I will ask her like the text, and then I can translate, and then I can send you guys. But yeah, it was really good. And as soon as I saw this video, the idea came to my mind. I was like, oh, I need to invite her for the WorldWords because it's gonna be incredible. It's such a nice video, you know. You can see her passion, like, on doing the performance, and now behind the scenes here, while the video was playing, I could see her like speaking through as well. I was like, oh, she does remember everything, I think, you know. That's really cool. Yeah, Katana, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really good. Você quer mandar um salve aí para os amigos do Brasil?
Sim, sim, sim. Thank you. Thank you, Tigas. Thank you, Chelsea, for having me. And I just want to say that English or Portuguese isn't our language. Art and love is our language. So thank you for having me. And see you. You can follow me at Instagram to DJ Kirtana. I will put in the chat. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for the opportunity.
You are very welcome. Always.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. I like that. There is no language. There's just love and art. Thank you guys. I look really red. I'm not this red. I have a pink rug under me and it's shining up. I see, this is what I meant when I said we've got a really cool video to show everyone. It was so cool. I loved it. Thank you. Thank everyone that's been on so far. It's been amazing. So we're gonna move on to our very last guest. Before we do, if it's okay with everyone, I'm going to read a couple of poems of my own. They're just two short ones, and then we'll move on to our last guest, which is going to be a lovely singer. So, I wanted to perform something because it's our last one, and I couldn't resist. So this poem I wrote, it's called Trust, and I wrote it a while ago. It was just when I had some trust broken and I had to try and put it into words somehow. So that's what this is about. It crept up on me, like a slow-moving shadow I thought I'd outrun. It seeped into my being whilst I was carefree, having fun. It took over what I'd created, my temple of serenity, my home within me, so carefully crafted, so delicately held, for so long without a shadow. Perhaps I should have lit more candles. Perhaps I should have doubled my skin. Perhaps I shouldn't have let anyone in. No mess when it's just me. Just me. Just me. Thank you. And now I'm going to read one more. This one, they both sound quite sad. This one, it sounds sad, but I actually, I quite like it. It makes me laugh. This is about when it's a really, really sunny day and you're just in a bad mood and you don't want to join in on the sunny day activities. It's called Sad on Sunny Days. Bragging about how happy and perfect it is, the sky, whilst I'm here curled up in bed, scrolling through endless pictures of blue. Beautiful day, isn't it? Yes, so sunny. Lie. I'm moody and bitter. See you tomorrow, dull sky. So that's it from me. I'm going to say my goodbyes and my thank yous now, and then we're going to play our lovely last artist. It's a video, and then that will be the end. So as you know, this is the last online festival, and we've got some very, very exciting things coming up that I'm not going to reveal yet, but stay tuned. Thank you so much to all of the guests that have been on. Tonight has been really, really special. I've enjoyed every single second of it. I hope you all have at home as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the people that have joined every single time. We've done this for 5 months now, which is quite crazy. So thank you to all the people that have come back every single time. It really means a lot to all of us. A special thank you to Tiago, the co-founder. You're amazing setting all of this up. Thank you to Theo, the tech man. He's been here every time. Thank you to Karma Collective just for being so welcoming and so lovely. It's like our second family now, so it's really, really lovely. And make sure that you check in with us tomorrow and the next day, because the festival isn't over yet. We've still got loads more. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this next guest. Her name is Maisie May, and she's going to be singing for us, and then it will be over, and everyone's ats and socials will be at the end, so make sure you show them love and give them a follow. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Yeah. Okay, sorry everyone. Maisie will come in a minute. Tiago wants to say something. Yay, there you go, Tiago.
You. I think we need to give you a shout out. We need to say thank you a lot for you. As you said, it was like 5 months that we have been doing this. So I don't know. I was trying to guess like how many artists we brought together here along like the first edition to now. I think it's more than, I don't know, 30 artists that we put together here. So yeah, thank you so much for you, and thank you so much for Tio as well. You put this on Twitch all together here, but you guys smashed. So I think it was really important. And as you said, keep following Nakama page because we got very good news. Nakama WorldWords is gonna be back to reality, real life, real person. And yeah, I think we got much more to do. So yeah, big love for you and Tio. Muito obrigado, as you say in Portuguese. Thank you a lot. And yeah, that's it. I just give you my shout out for you guys.
Thank you. That was cute. Theo, do you want to say hi to the camera?
Alright.
This is the tech man that's been behind it all. Cool. Well, thank you all so much. This has been so lovely. And like Tiago said, we'll see you all in person soon. So we'll end with our last guest. This is Maisie May to send us all off into a dreamy, dreamy night. Bye, everyone.
Aphrodisiac potion. We both took a sip. Both know what this is. What is this? Just looking for affection. Add a piece to my collection. Then maybe who knows? Let's see where this goes. Where will this go? 'Cause the head's so good, and she brings me peace. We don't talk too much, but there's